The most illuminating parallel takes us back to 16th century Europe. In 1517, Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to a church door in Wittenberg, and within a generation, Christianity was split, Protestant and Catholic. The theological disputes were real, but so was the political opportunity. German princes who resented the Holy Roman Emperor's power discovered that Protestantism gave them independence from Rome and from imperial authority. France's Catholic kings found themselves funding Protestant rebels in enemy territories while persecuting Protestants at home. The religious divide became a strategic tool, and the strategic competition made the religious divide unbridgeable. What followed was over a century of war. The French wars of religion killed perhaps 3 million people. The 30 Years' War, which began in 1618, killed 8 million, roughly a third of the population of the German states. Cities were destroyed, economies collapsed, entire regions were depopulated. And for most of that period, neither side could imagine peace with the other. How could you compromise with heresy? How could you accept the legitimacy of a faith you believed was leading souls to damnation? But here's what eventually happened. By 1648, Europe's rulers were exhausted. The 30 Years' War had devastated the continent, bankrupted kingdoms, and produced no clear victor. And so they gathered in Westphalia and negotiated something revolutionary, a peace based not on one side winning the religious argument, but on accepting that the argument couldn't be won. The Peace of Westphalia built on an earlier compromise. The Peace of Augsburg in 1555 had established cuius, regio, eius, religio, allowing rulers to determine their territory's religion. But Westphalia went further, creating the framework of sovereign states coexisting, regardless of religious differences, that still shape international relations today. It wasn't tolerance in the modern sense, it was mutual exhaustion formalized into law. The wars didn't end because anyone changed their mind about theology. They ended because the cost of continuing became unbearable. Now look at Iran and Saudi Arabia through that lens. The religious dimension of their rivalry is real, just as it was in Europe. The Sunni-Shia split goes back to the 7th century, to disputes over who should lead the Muslim community after Muhammad's death. Those theological differences are not going away. But the Westphalian pattern suggests something important. Religious rivals can stop fighting without resolving their religious differences. What matters is whether the cost of competition becomes higher than the cost of... Subscribe for more. Also, our full video on this is now live, link in the description below.